Hello, and welcome to my human design channel. My name is Juji, this is HD by Z, and if you're new here, this is a space where we analyze celebrity charts mostly through their relationships, and today we're going to be looking at Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, who are not a romantic couple, but they are a partnership nonetheless, and an odd one at that. So this is basically a follow-up to the last video that I made, where I analyzed a bunch of celebrity odd couples that seemingly have nothing in common or have a really big age gap. But human design shows us that when you look underneath the surface, you can see exactly why they work. So somebody reached out to me on Instagram and nominated Martha and Snoop, and I was thrilled. This is such an amazing opportunity, and I love the two of them together. I love their charts together. It's all so fascinating. But before we get into them, I just want to remind you all that my master suite of workshops is still available for the discount price. The link for that will be down in the show notes. My master suite includes 30 workshops. Each video is less than 25 minutes long. It also comes with a downloadable PDF so you can follow along. And the original price for this is $1,200, but now you can get it for $888. I'll also have the link to my website where you can see I do readings for both individuals and couples, I do coaching, I do speaking, and I run a women's group online called The Beehive. We meet weekly. It's a beautiful space to explore human design and help with your deconditioning process. Okay, so Martha and Snoop, how did this unlikely pair get together and start collaborating? Well, Martha Stewart used to have a show called The Martha Stewart Show, and he was initially a guest helping her make mashed potatoes. And even though he was an unlikely guest, they really hit it off, and she had him back on the show to make what else? Brownies. Since then, they've done many collaborations. As a unit, they are the face of Bic lighters, and they consider each other best friends, which is odd for many reasons. Not just the fact that they have an exactly 30-year age gap between the two of them. So what's really going on below the surface? Why are these two such unlikely people such close friends? Let's take a look. All right, first we're going to take a look at Martha Stewart, who is a manifester. She is emotional authority, split definition, a 4-6 profile on the right angle cross of the 4 ways. And I really want to point out this 4-6 profile of hers, which points to the fact that she is in fact what we call a late bloomer. 6 lines are not here to fully blossom until after 50, which is exactly what happened with Martha Stewart. So if you're a 6th line and you feel like you're behind, look at Martha Stewart and be inspired. It definitely inspires me big time. You can also see that she has this 5125 channel, which is all about the need to be first. And I feel like Martha Stewart has done a lot of firsts. Most recently, she was the first woman who was over the age of like 25 on the cover of this Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. That was really shocking to people. 51 is the gate of shock. And she really pulled it off, which was possibly the most shocking part. So kudos to Martha. So now let's take a look at Snoop Dogg. So Snoop Dogg is a manifesting generator. He is also emotional authority, single definition, and a 1-3 profile on the right angle cross of laws, which is really pretty hilarious since he was kind of on the other side of the law for some time. But I just want to point out, he has a lot going on in this chart. Lots of busyness, this direct manifestation channel to the throat, and this 360 is also very much about changing the game. And Snoop has really changed the way that we see rappers. He was this really hardcore thug when he first started in this industry, and now he's baking with Martha Stewart. How does that make any logical sense? Well, we're all multifaceted creatures, And Snoop Dogg clearly didn't want to be defined by just that thing about himself. So he's really reinvented himself in many different ways. And that level of mutation is really what his chart is all about. So that's who they are separately. Let's take a look at the two of them together. Okay, so this is the two of them together. Together, their composite chart is single definition, which is the same thing as all of the odd couples that I observed in the previous video. They are 7 and 2 work to do, meaning they have 7 centers defined and 2 centers open, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 electromagnetic connections together. The channel of inspiration, which is really an individual channel about expressing yourself in a unique way. The channel of curiosity, which I always see as this really beautiful intellectual connection where people always have something to talk about between one another. And then you can see that they have all of the channels between the G center and the throat defined. This is incredible. They are all about a creative expression. All roads lead to the throat in this composite chart, and the throat is the point of manifestation. So what they speak into words actually turns into action. And it's beautiful that whatever it is that they've wanted to do together has come to fruition, no matter how out there or zany it may seem. And I want to point out one final thing. They have this channel of synthesis, the 4919 together, which I believe is what has created the duration of this relationship. You know, they could have come together and hung out and it would have been fun on the show, but it didn't have to turn into this long-standing relationship, collaborative friendship, all of that. So the companionship between the two of them is what I truly believe is the glue that holds them together. Okay, so what can we actually learn from this friendship? Well, I've been doing celebrity chart analysis for quite some time now, and I believe that a companionship channel points to longevity more than anything else. And within the companionship channels, tribal channels are the ones that are most likely to succeed because the tribe is all about loyalty, it's about connection, it's about family. And it's interesting because they are both very tribal creatures, since this is the channel that defines their emotional center, the emotions which are their inner authority. And so if you look at Martha Stewart as this steward of tradition, you know, homemaking, cooking, celebrating traditions together. She is really putting a modern spin on these old traditions. And maybe it's not even that modern if you think about it. What's most modern about her is that she's hanging out with Snoop Dogg, but she's taking this very tribal thing. Tradition is very tribal, and helping people to maintain it within their tribes and their homes and making it their own. So I can't think of anything more tribal than that. And if you look at Snoop Dogg, he's kind of on the other end of the same spectrum. You know, he used to be a gangbanger in LA. Pretty sure that word is really dated, but you know what I mean. He was rapping about like blood in, blood out, guns, bitches, whatever, and that was his persona. And as dysfunctional as we may see it, gangs are also very tribal. It's very much about protecting your own. It's very much about loyalty. So they are both really tribal beings, even if the way that they are tribal is being expressed very, very differently. So the fact that they have created loyalty between themselves isn't at all shocking. And you can also see that Snoop Dogg is taking what he knows about being tribal and sort of channeling it into a more wholesome direction. And again, Snoop is kind of giving Martha that like modern edge so that she can stay relevant and humorous and all of that stuff, and kind of like give everybody a little wink like, yeah, I make pies, but like I also get down. So the two of them together are just marketing gold. And the reason why is because it's authentic. They really do enjoy each other's company. They really do want to hang out together. It's not a farce. So I'm really happy that somebody nominated them as an odd couple to analyze because there's really so much there that we can learn from. Okay, guys, I think this is a good place to wrap it up, though. If you have any questions about Snoop Dogg and Martha, or anyone else for that matter, please put it in the comments. And if you have another odd couple or traditional couple that you'd like to nominate, I'd love to hear from you. I was thinking about doing the love triangle between Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, and Hailey Baldwin, because there's something going on with the three of them right now again. And even though I haven't followed those relationships very closely, I'm sure there's something that we can learn from it. So one last thing, don't forget my master suite of workshops is going to be in the show notes. Please check that out. There's so much for you guys to learn, including my Conscious Connection workshop series, which is all about relationships. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means so much to me. Until next time, ciao for now.